What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garden with the T. Aaron.
That was terrible.
No longer Balzana. It's Colvin.
Last time you were on this podcast, you were just my boyfriend. You didn't even make it on when we were fiancés.
True.
In our defense, though, that was a very short season.
It was also very busy.
It was pure chaos.
Yeah. Fun, though, while it lasted.
We went straight from making it on the podcast as boyfriend and girlfriend to now married. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is wild. Pretty wild.
To kick off the episode, how about you tell everybody what happened to your ring today?
Oh, yeah. Rocking the old rubber ring here. Well, Ford decided that they should put a door into Never Never Land in your center console. So I had set my ring on like this little slide for the center console, and you can like reach into this little compartment. Well, I'd set it on the slide, and it slid back into the back and never to be seen again. We took the side panel off of the center console, and so my truck is in pieces, and still don't have the ring. Shine the camera all up in there and everything. Didn't see nothing.
We're going to get it back eventually.
Is tungsten magnetic? I'd like to know that in the comments. That'd be great info.
We never did Google that.
No, that'd be a good thing to know, though. I might have to go get me a magnet and try to chase it down in there.
Even looking through all the holes with like the flashlight and stuff, we still never saw it.
Yeah, I had my phone like with the light on and everything, shining the camera through there and looking through there. Nothing. If anything, now I'm more concerned for its whereabouts.
Me too. But the good thing about that, because I knew that you were just a guy when I got that ring, is that it comes with 2 free replacements. So, worst comes to worst, we can just get a new one.
True.
No extra charge.
That is good. Good job.
Anyway, so I had put a little story on Instagram last night, having y'all ask some questions. So I think that would be a fun way to kick this off, aside from your losing your ring story 3 weeks into marriage. It's fine.
Wild stat.
Just a guy. All right. What question should we start with?
I've heard I got roasted in these.
Yeah. Some of them are so subtle, like, what's it like living with a bald-headed person?
Yes, subtle. Yeah, no, I think that's a straight-up roast. Well, that's not a question for me, because you're not bald.
Thank God. Imagine if there was 2 of us living. Imagine if we were both bald.
I put 2 of us next to each other outside. The light would bounce between the 2 of us, and I don't know, something crazy would happen, like make a rip in the space-time continuum.
Anyway, I didn't expect it to really affect my life the way that it actually does. The amount of times that I have to help you get spots that you missed while shaving your head. I'm really quite curious how he ever managed to do it without me. And then helping you put lotion on your head. I
don't need help putting lotion on my head. That makes me sound like a hospice patient. You know what I mean?
But I mean the amount of times that we've had to do it while driving. And you're like, can you get this back piece right here? Can you get it, put some more back here? Hey, while I'm driving, can you put lotion on my head? It's happened many times.
That is true.
But no, generally you don't need my help. But you do need my help
Yeah, I
shaving your head.
definitely need help with shaving the back of my head. I don't know if you noticed, but I can't see back there.
Oh, this is brand new information.
You're welcome. But
No, there's definitely spots that you should have been able to get and you just missed them.
well, I just walked around looking like a chia pet. So it's all good.
Anyway,
I survived.
this one also says, what's it like knowing every hair you find in the camper is yours? Pretty sure that's at me. Also a subtle dig at you. Because you don't have any.
Oh, that's funny. That was actually really good. Wow. Round of applause. Golf snaps or piano snaps? I don't know.
I think it's golf snaps.
No. Because it's golf claps, you know?
I don't think I clap like this. Golf claps. This is the new golf claps.
Lobsters.
Lobsters. Lobsters.
I like that.
That's now our new thing. We create things really easily.
It's easy when you're on drugs, crack. Well, not actually, but
Let's not insinuate that on
high on
a
life.
Christian
mean.
podcast.
Okay, I mean, if there's a cut right
Wrong
here.
garden.
Okay, if there's a cut here, just know it's because Trent made a bad joke.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I just meant that, like, every time we have the slightest little thing, we're like, yeah, it's our new thing. And we take it and we run with it. We have lots of things.
Too many things.
We won't go into them all.
We can't get through a normal conversation.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. It's gotten to the point where when we are being serious with each other, we're like, are you mad at me?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Anyway. We'll get into, I think that was the main, like, joking ones. We did get one that said, rate your reception DJ 1 to 10.
10.
I would say 10, but I would also say that our reception was such a blur that I would imagine it was probably a 10, given that I trusted the person that I assigned the job to, but I don't really remember.
Yeah, it went by very quickly. The whole thing did. I felt
When
like
everybody tells you that it's just a whirlwind, they mean it, because our whole wedding day was just a giant blur.
Yeah, it was like I do, and then
We were leaving. I do, and then deuces.
Pretty much. Yeah, the cake was good though.
The cake was so
Ooh, the food
good.
was good. We didn't even eat while we were there. We just had a to-go plate. It was good.
People kept telling us how good the food was, and then Trent got to the point where he's like, so I hear. We did get little snack boxes made for us to go,
Yeah.
but we still didn't get to try everything because it was going in a box. So
Yeah, you can't fit everything.
we had like soup and sandwiches and appetizers on the tables when everybody got there. It was so nice. It was beautiful.
Those little sandwiches, they were good. I don't know what was going on with those, but I like.
Okay. Also, this is not a question, but I feel like this person would like you to know that Trent stinketh.
Nice. I mean,
He do be stinking in the mornings, I tell you what.
oh, that's crazy. I didn't know we were airing it out like that.
You be airing it out in the mornings.
Okay. Fair enough. You air it out in your sleep.
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
You snoozing so hard you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, I am snoozing so hard, and then I get woken up in the middle of the night to gunshots. Gunfire.
Whatever.
Yeah. Sounds like Afghanistan over there.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't even know how the keys responded to that person writing them sausage fingers. You figure they'd hit all of the keys at once. You know what I mean?
Okay, more serious questions. How was your experience with such a short engagement?
I think that's a good question. Experience, it was fast, right? Yes, because it was short. That's obviously obvious in that, but lobsters. But okay,
You
I
put that
say that.
together all by yourself.
I say that to mean with it being fast, I think it heightened the nervousness around the actual getting married. You know what I mean? Because like you didn't have time to think about the being engaged as much as somebody normally would. So it was like, okay, I'm engaged. And the moment that you kind of got used to being engaged, you were now getting married. And so I think it kind of added a little bit of nervousness there. But I don't think it was bad. Maybe it even lessens the nervousness. I don't know. I haven't done it the other way. You know, maybe you don't have time to
It was
get
our first
nervous.
time.
Yeah, first time. I kept saying that the whole time during like the
I
wedding
know.
prep. I was like, "Oh, I don't know. This is my first time."
I know. If I could redo it, I wouldn't do it any different.
No, I think it was. Perfect.
I think the thing that made it the most chaotic was the fact that our short engagement was also in the midst of holidays. And so it was a lot of bam, 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 with wedding stuff and then visiting family and traveling and so much of all three of those, that kind of made it extra chaotic. But I still I wouldn't have lengthened our engagement if I could redo it.
I wouldn't either. I also want to throw in the way my work schedule was at that time too. Kind of really.
Yeah. It was trash.
Everything was pretty hectic for a little bit there.
Yeah. Is premarital counseling as scary as it seems?
I think it is kind of daunting. Like,
I was terrified going into it because I had no idea what to expect.
I think it would make it even more scary if we hadn't had like a previous kind of rapport with the people we were doing the counseling with. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So I think if you were doing it with somebody you didn't know, oh my gosh, that'd be nerve wracking. Maybe it'd be less nerve wracking because then you don't have any fear of judgment. Maybe I don't know, but
there was a part going into it where I was like, what if they do this with us and then they're like, you guys should not be getting married. But then I knew that like what I had heard from other people that like is talked about in premarital counseling, I was like, okay, we've talked about those things. And then we took this little quiz beforehand, and he took it and I took it, and we didn't share our answers with it or about it or anything, and we didn't talk about it, but it got talked about, our answers got talked about in the counseling. And going through that quiz also helped reassure me that I was like, okay, we've talked about this stuff. Like I felt more peace. My heart was racing and I was absolutely sweating our first session. But that definitely helped me definitely helped like calm me down after we took that quiz, because I just felt reassured that we had covered a lot of those bases.
Right. Yeah. There was a lot that we hadn't talked about in I guess like a traditional sense, like, because it went pretty deep. You know, it went like into your childhood and you don't really talk like about everything.
Yeah, because everyone loves talking about their childhood trauma.
Yeah. We hadn't really talked about everything when it came to that area.
Right.
But whenever it came to like, talking about finances and
how we were going to handle them and
parenting style, all of that we had
Yeah.
talked about, but I think we didn't really touch on like past trauma. Oh, and the way that we communicated moving forward, I really enjoyed that part of it. Like they were the subjects about, you know, how to communicate more effectively and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
More so, I guess it was like their personal testimonies too that really kind of helped in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think that doing it with people that you do have like a bit of a history with and kind of know definitely helps. And I don't know. I thought that was helpful. Just kind of knowing the people that we were doing it with. But we got this like booklet too. And so like we can go back and kind of like, they kind of recommended that we kind of touch on it like every
you
year.
can, like redo the activities and
Yeah.
stuff, which is cool. Some of the activities were like really good and got us talking.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed them.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked one day while I was driving for like hours.
Mm-hmm.
Just like asking questions in the book. It was
Yeah.
good. But it definitely is scary at first, but it didn't end up being scary. Like after you got past the first session, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, after you break the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Living together is sometimes told to be very different. Was it an easy transition?
Well, I mean, I think we're still really new to that, but I think so far it's been great. Yeah, there's been like little instances where we're noticing what?
Stop picking at your finger.
Oh, is that driving you nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Here's one of those moments that I'm talking about. There's little things that you'll notice that are like, oh, like I didn't really notice that you did that. Or that would bother you. You know what I mean?
I have a very heightened sense of hearing. What did you call me the other day? A bat?
I did. Yeah. I said that you could probably echolocate something in the kitchen.
Anyway, point being, I am very sensitive to sounds. But for the most part, I can't think of anything that's been like, I did not realize that this was going to be such a big deal. Oh, actually, I can think of one thing. And not as much as like, oh, I didn't realize this was going to be such a big deal. But the fact is that even if Trent wears a piece of clothing for 5 seconds, it's going in the dirty laundry. And I'm like, you could rewear that. And I think that is a huge part of why we have to do laundry so frequently. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, you know, immediate thought was I'm trying to smell good, you know, for my beautiful wife. That would be the main part of that. So, and the second part is sometimes I just forget that I've only been wearing it for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Sometimes I throw it on and then I throw it off into the dirty clothes and I just forget.
I think it's just like too much work to like fold it back up and put it away again. And so it's just so much easier to take it off and throw it into a basket. But I will give him credit for the fact that his clothes do make it into the basket. I know a lot of people have trouble with that with their husbands.
It sounds like their pet. Some people have trouble with that with their husbands. I don't know.
But your clothes do make it into the basket, and I am appreciative. I don't think there's anything else that's been really like drastically different.
We haven't had any like points of contention with living together. But I think we're both pretty easygoing, and when one of us wants something, the other one lets them have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or if like there's something that bothers us or whatever, we tell the other one. So
yeah, but that's kind of what I'm saying is like we're easygoing, but when there is something that comes up where it's like, hey, I want it this way, or hey, I don't like it this way, we normally are just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I think The only other adjustment was the alarm. At first, I did not want to wake up to your obnoxious alarm, but then I realized that the phone alarm was not waking you up.
Mm-mm.
And that was just starting every day in frustration with each other, because I was trying to get you up and you're half asleep, and you were frustrated with me because I kept telling you to get up. And so we would both just get frustrated with each other, and that was how we started our day at 4 a.m. And so then I was like, you know what? Tomorrow, how about you use your alarm? And you were like, do you got anything else to add to that? I was like, I just think you should use your alarm. And he does get up a lot better with it, which he told me that he did. It's just also not really the sound I want to wake up to every morning. But we start our days a lot better and not in frustration with each other. So I guess that's a win.
Yeah. I did tell her that in the very beginning. I was like, hey, you should just let me use this alarm and I'll get up better.
There's only been like 2 times where you have used the alarm and gotten back in bed after. But
well, sometimes
okay.
it'd be cold, you know.
That was one time.
I don't like.
One time I had it a little cold in the room, and it was not a fan.
It was like 60 in there this morning.
I did hear you come out here and turn on the heater while we were getting ready.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, you know, I wasn't dying, but it was cold enough that I needed some heat. And I woke up early. So you wake up early, you get to take a nap. That's how that works. Also, the weird little stretch thing I did a minute ago. Did you see that?
No.
My brain like quit working as soon as I went to stretch. I like forgot which way I needed to stretch, and it looked so weird. I'm sure. I looked like I was like breakdancing terribly. Stationary breakdancing.
Okay. Next question. What are your tips for keeping God at the center of your relationship?
I don't feel like there is any kind of like tip that you can give somebody. I would say it's the stuff you always hear, you know. You have to put in the time to do that. I think personal prayer and like personal time with God is also really important in that. Because it's an you know, us trying to keep him at the center of our relationship, but also you got to have your own personal relationship with God. If it's just you and I and God, if it's just, you know, like that, it doesn't really work, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think we got to have our own thing with God too.
Yeah, I agree. I think that keeping God at the center of your relationship has to start with keeping God at the center of your life and letting it overflow into your relationship, and then it being a joint effort to like, we pray together and we do studies together and we talk about him all the time. And so, but that comes from our personal relationships with the Lord, and then it overflows into, well, we also live together and are with each other every single day. And so naturally when like you're doing something or whatever, you're going to tell that person about it. And so if you're doing that a lot and you're keeping up with your personal relationship, then it's going to overflow into your relationship together.
Yeah, I think what you said, you know, is good. But yeah, that'd be my advice is don't forget about your relationship with God rather than it just be a you and your spouse's relationship with God. I think that's kind of not how it should be.
Yeah, I agree. This is kind of a similar question, but how has the transition been going from long distance to living together?
I think it's going good. The transition is definitely a transition from seeing you, you know, for a few days up to like a week at a time, all the way to every single day. Yeah. I think it's great, and we're learning about each other in a different way.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we knew so much about each other already in terms of like, you know, personality and stuff, and just facts about each other. But it's different. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like instead of us being a couple, we become more, I guess, friends than just a couple. Or do you feel differently? Your face says definitely feel differently.
I don't necessarily know that I feel differently. I'm just trying to kind of understand
You know
what you mean.
So like before, yeah, we talked and we were friends, but I don't know, we were a couple, and it's like now I feel like I'm just kind of getting to hang out with my friend every day. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I think now the like going from long distance to now doing life together every day, I think I do get what you're saying, is that it's also so much more fun now. It's just like getting to do everything together, and spontaneous trips to town, or cooking together, or doing the dishes together, or playing a game together, and we just get to laugh together and
do life.
Yeah. And that's every day, and we never really got to experience that. And so that part has been really fun to, I agree, just be best friends.
Yeah. It's been a blast.
I think our last question, this is kind of a two-parter. How did you meet, and how did you know you wanted to marry each other? I think we talked about how we met before, but we met on a Christian dating site called Upward, and that is how we met. How did we know that we wanted to marry each other?
That's tough.
I think we both knew pretty soon. I don't think it was like one thing for me personally that I was just like, oh, because of that thing, I want to marry this man. It was so many little things, and just the peace that I felt when I was with him.
I had a different experience. Well, I knew what I was looking for. So, like, I found what I was looking for, and we worked, It wasn't like, it wasn't difficult, so that's good, But that wasn't what made me want to marry you. It was like, I knew what I was looking for. I found it. And so from there, I was like, okay, I found it. Now that's kind of it, right? Now I get married. And then, but I think one of the biggest things for me was how you spoke to me and like treated me was a big thing for me. So I don't know. I think having somebody that adores you and treats you with respect is, irreplaceable.
I agree. I think that even on like our first date, before I necessarily knew that you checked all the boxes, there was just this, I have no other way to explain it other than just this supernatural peace that I felt being with you and talking to you on our first date, and then afterwards. Like, there is some videos between our first date and our second date, when you like officially asked me to be your girlfriend, that I literally already felt like this was it. This is it. And we weren't even official yet. But I was like, I just knew. I was like, okay, next time that we see each other, he's going to ask me to be his girlfriend. And then it was like, after that, I knew next time that we saw each other, he was going to tell me that he loved me. And like, it was just like, I was so confident in our relationship from literally date one. And I think that that's only like a piece that I think that's how you know that that's the one that the Lord has for you, is just, you just have this peace and this confidence.
Yeah, I definitely have had a confidence in my decision to marry you. You know, people, of course, have been like, "Oh, are you sure? Like, y'all haven't been dating long, or you haven't been engaged long. You don't really know each other, whatever." But I don't know. I didn't have any doubts. Felt confident. So I don't know. Seemed like a no-brainer.
If you want to get super technical, Saturday is February 14th, which is our official 1 year mark. And we've been
Dating.
Yeah, our official dating 1 year mark. Or
Knew
would
each
have
other.
would have been our 1 year dating mark.
We knew each other a little longer than that. But,
Yeah. We went on our first date in December. You asked me to be your girlfriend February 14th. And then now, a year later from when you asked me to be your girlfriend, we are
hitched.
3 weeks into marriage. Crazy.
Quick movers.
When you know, isn't that what they say?
That's what they say.
Well, I think that we'll do another episode next week of quickly talking about our story.
Like our story about what?
Our just story about like engagement and little stories about, what may not have happened. Driving to Texas the week of Thanksgiving. And
we haven't talked about that.
We haven't talked about that. Things like that.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Because if you know us,
it's always something, yeah.
You know there's a story. So I think this was fun.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to add to close out?
Not really. I think the next episode would be pretty fun. I think there's some good stories in there.
Yeah.
Better than the ring loss story.
But there's always a story. We like to keep you guys on your toes. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And we will see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye.